I'm Bob. I like coffee. I also like to tell stories. So here at the Bobcast Coffee, it's time for a coffee break. So take a coffee break with me and pour yourself a cup of your favorite Joe. By the time you're done with your coffee, you'll know something about me you really didn't need to know. But you'll have fun learning it. Just remember, my stories are true. For the most part.
This episode was brought to you by JM Insurance. JM Insurance. Do you have business, personal, or life insurance yet? Contact JM Insurance Agency to understand the benefits of insuring against the unforeseen circumstances of life. We have over 40 years of experience in the business and will guide with the best probable choice for your situation. Call us for more information at 405-353-0140 or visit our website at jminsurance.agency.
All right, today we are drinking coffee. Now I'm going to tell you that this is my standard go-to coffee. It is the Kirkland French Roast, right? Yeah, so it's not a big expensive coffee. You've heard me talk about it several times before. It's just a good all-around coffee. But today we will be drinking this out of a new coffee mug. If you cannot read that, that is the USS Nimitz, CVN 68. And what's really cool, their motto is teamwork, a tradition. That's actually a pretty good motto. Because without teamwork, nothing gets done. But through your hole. It's a great cup. Second oldest Tim has been working on the Nimitz. Says that they've got a gift shop. I said, great. Where would the Nimitz keep their gift shop? Or is there just like a big gift shop for all the different ships? He goes, no, it's on the Nimitz. Wait, on the boat, the Nimitz, the aircraft carrier, goes floating out into the ocean, mass destruction with its armada. That boat has a gift shop. He goes, of course, where are you going to buy your stuff? Brilliant. Good coffee, very good mug, thermal mug. I've had it at work a couple of days, and it works great. All right, today we are looking at episode 61, and funny I mentioned Tim and the new mug, because Tim and Washington State play a major role. So, 2 weeks ago-ish, my honey bunny, my fourth oldest, and I boarded an airplane. And if you don't know, I don't like airplanes. But we flew up to Washington State to celebrate my oldest grandson's 13th birthday. Well, that's kind of a cool thing. No. Going up there just to celebrate that birthday is a normal thing. The cool thing was how we did it. So, Tim, once again, second born, Tim put together an entire week to celebrate Owen's birthday. It was a very, very cool thing. We did adventures. We did strength endurance. We did Bible studies. And Tim invited his three brothers, that is Tommy, Bobby, and Joshua, and myself, to do this camping with them. So we each got to pick, what we wanted to teach from the Bible. And then that's what we, with our thing. And each of us went one day. And then Tim had set up all these adventures. And it was actually a very, very cool idea. Now think about this. 13 is a traditional age for male children to come of age. So on this 13th birthday, we went camping. And yeah, we did the normal camping stuff. Except, of course, in Washington State, where it is so damp, moss grows on everything, where it rained on us 2 or 3 nights, there was a fire ban. Oh well. So what did we end up doing? Well, we lived without a fire, but that's okay. We had Owen doing some stuff like, he had to play chess. And after every game, they would strap on heavy weights, like a sandbag or something like that, and run around the entire campsite. Now, the campsite wasn't huge, but it had some nice hills on it. So it was a good little run to go around. Tim and Owen ate limited food. Now, I've done this before, and it stinks. It's horrible. But I'll tell you, for this, they were going to eat eggs and oatmeal, and they were going to have beef jerky, and that was going to be the staple for them to go for 3 days. Like I said, I've done this before, and it's terrible. That beef jerky that they had was really tasty, and it was made by Owen. Not only were there hard-boiled eggs, which I eat them all the time, there were also pickled eggs. And the pickled eggs were pretty tasty. The oatmeal, it was kind of bland, but they had all sorts of berries and stuff to throw into it, which, that was so much better. I've done the 5 days of eating a can of tuna and a sleeve of crackers for lunch, and that was your big meal of the day. I've done that sort of thing. The in the Army, where we weren't sure when we were going to get, the next MREs, so you made that one MRE last as long as possible. I've done that. This wasn't anything like this. This was actually pretty cool. And on, like the 3rd day or 4th day out there, depending on how good Owen, survived that task, he got to join in on some of the food that the rest of us were eating, because Bobby, Joshua, Tommy, and I, we've done all this before. We were going to eat a little bit better. Anyway, it was a fabulous weekend, and it seemed like Owen really enjoyed it. So the first day we got there, we set up camp. The second day was swim day. And we were going to go swim in the lake right there next to the campground. Questions about water and algae, all that was standing. We changed and we went down to the Sound. Now, if you know Washington State, it seems like half of it's water, because the ocean is coming into most of it. And, that's why they have sub bases and naval bases and all sorts of fun stuff up there. So we went to the Sound, and it took us probably about half an hour drive, 40 minutes, to get up to a decent place on the Sound. And Timmy, Owen, and Uncle Tommy went into the ocean. And they went swimming in the Sound. Now, this is the middle of summer. That doesn't mean way up north, up in Washington, that water was warm. It was freezing. It was so cold that there were people that had come down just a it was a campsite that we had passed through, and they were down there just walking the beach and exploring, and everybody stopped to watch these three maniacs run out there into the water and tough it out. And it was tough. All right, those three guys really did put up a good show, and we were very proud. Owen did not have much of a hassle with this one. So that adventure's over. We went back, played a lot of cards around the table. Like I said, we were doing Bible studies. We were doing all sorts of fun stuff. And the next day was gun day. Went out to the range where Timmy had brought, several kinds of different caliber weapons. And we all went out to this range that Tim had been to before. And we just popped some caps. Except one of the guns was Owen's new gun. And for his 13th birthday. So that was very special for him. It was a pretty cool experience. And I am absolutely impressed at how good that he shoots. Owen has a talent for this. So, very proud of you, boy. I may have gotten these out of order, but the next day was hike day. And hike day, yeah, that's right. Next day was hike day. And this was a unique experience for me because I am a hiker and I've never backed away from any hike. I like hiking. So we get in the car and it's only like a short drive, like 20-minute drive to get to the trailhead. It's real close to our campsite because we are camping toward the base of Mount Zion. And we're going to go, we're not actually hiking to this peak of Mount Zion. That's like a 4,000 foot elevation change or something like that. We weren't going to do that. What we were going to do is hike to the top of the first ridge, which is about 1,300 feet, and then down the back, and then turn around, come back up and back down. Major workout, really good hike. I've done stuff like this before. So we get out there, and Owen is going to lead. He has to lead up there and lead back because, he's now a man. He's going to lead. And boy, did he. He set a good pace. And the brothers were going along. Tommy, for some odd reason, kept staying behind me. And as we got further and further on this trail, I figured out why. Southern California. If you're hiking in the San Gabriels, you're going up what's called swishbacks, and that's where the road goes this way, then goes this way, then goes this way, and it works you up the mountain. So you're going up that elevation, you're walking a little bit further, but you're not fighting gravity for every step. This trail, going up Mount Zion, avoids all that unnecessary step and just goes straight up. And it's steep. So every step is like going up well, I wish it was an elevator. No, I don't. I don't like elevators either. Wish it was an escalator, but it wasn't. And you just up, no relief. Normally, a trail will kind of go this and work its way around the trees and stuff like that. And plateau off a little bit and go up, maybe dip a little bit and go up. No. This sucker is just going straight up. And it's a brutal climb. And like I said, Owen, I lost track of him. He's gone. Tim's right behind him. Joshua is following up behind that. Bobby's up there somewhere. And Tommy's down there. And he's behind me. And I get about, I'm going to brag. Because I made a quarter of a mile. Maybe a little more. Yeah, it's not bragging. I got a little over a quarter of a mile up this trail, and I turned around and looked at Tommy, and I said, this 61-year-old man is going back to the car. This is going to kill me. So around I turned, and I went back. Tommy took off, caught up everybody. Him and Joshua were up at up way up the trail where they were about to disappear, and we all waved, and I turned, and I took a nice slow walk back. Because you think walking uphill is tough, and it is. It's, I think, personally more dangerous going downhill. And these guys were going to do this twice. Well, I get back to the car. I take some pictures. I take some nice pictures, I think. And I get back to the car and set everything up, kill the mosquitoes that are inside the car, and I'm going to take a nap. And I lay back. I don't know if I actually made it to a nap, but all of a sudden I hear noise behind the car. I look around, and here comes Owen, and then Timmy and Joshua, and I'm like, well, that was pretty quick. Well, here we go. I believe the younger generations are getting smarter. Simply because right now, I don't think any of my boys have stories like I have, which is fabulous. And they got to that top ridge, looking down the backside, to get to their turnaround point, and they all looked at each other and said, let's be smart and let's go back to the car. So they went up and they turned around and came down. And I promise you, that was a serious workout for them. I wish I would have, been capable of joining them on that part of the adventure, but no. I hope my wife is proud. I made the decision not to kill myself. With age comes wisdom. All right. So now we're into, that was the hike day. We did the shooting day, the swimming day. Now we're on to the last day. And what we're going to do is pack up. We bring down the tent. We shove everything into the car, including all of us. And we take off back to the house. And we're just going to dump all the camping gear and everything. And my wife, who was staying with my granddaughter this whole time, they were off doing their own adventures, graciously washed all our dirty clothes because we weren't smelling too good by this point. But we're not done yet. We head off, and it's another 2-hour drive. We got to go from Tim's place all the way back through Seattle, and then on the far side of Seattle from us is this ropes course. I've done ropes course in the military. I've done ropes course in different places, but nothing like this. This was for-profit business set up to have fun. And it looked awesome. And I have to emphasize, it looked awesome. I did not go up there. Remember, I'm an old man. I've got problems on my own. I'm trying to heal up from all those other adventures I did when I was young. This is time for the kids. So I sat down underneath the picnic area, and I watched and filmed and enjoyed these guys out there. And all the boys are out there. They're having fun. It is amazing that my 4 boys are still alive because of they just jump and go. And it's even more amazing that Owen, and I could just say that whole generation is alive because no fear. He's just out there hitting this ropes course. And I mean, yeah, they got safety features and stuff for it. But some of these obstacles they're doing is way up there, and they are not easy. And we're watching this whole thing, and it was supposed to be an hour and a half. And I think they may have squeezed a few extra minutes out of it, but it seemed to go by fast. They were all over that place. They had a ball. And to get out of it, the normal way to get off this course is you zip line out, but it's not just like a zip line down to the ground. It's a zip line here and a zip line there and a zip line here, and you can turn around and come back this way and this way. You can end up in two different, it's everywhere. And they're zipping around, and it looked very, very cool. But they had a great time. So now we're done, and the worst part of the adventure was still to come, and I don't think I took any pictures. I was driving. But we had to drive back through Seattle during rush hour. And we sat a long time on the freeway, inching our way. It was like LA traffic. It was pretty bad. But we got out, we broke free, got back to the house, and had a barbecue dinner for Owen's birthday dinner. And then we had cake, and it was a nice time. Now, is this going to be the exact tradition of the family? Probably not. Is it going to start a tradition? I hope so. And I would love to see it start traditions everywhere. 13 years old is a great time for a boy or a girl to come of age and to start the learning process to become an adult. We need to raise our kids to be adults, and this is a great way to start it. It doesn't have to be exactly like what we did up in Washington State. It just has to be something that I guess is tailored to your child. And it may be a big man's weekend, which would be very cool. And it may also be some sort of solo adventure or father-daughter, mother-son, whatever, adventure or learning experience. But choose what would be interesting for your child and make it happen and make it special. Because I really think this rocked. A couple other fun things that did happen. I did a podcast while I was out there. It was an excellent podcast of the story of my very last hike. Camping. So my last backpacking trip, which I failed miserably on. Tim ended up being my hero on that. I will have to tell you that story later, because that podcast, where it looked beautiful, actually, yeah, the sound was turned off, and I did the whole thing and no audio was recorded. So I'll redo that. Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, treat your kids right and they'll treat you right. If you don't treat them right, be like me and get lucky, because my kids treat me right. And I love the way that all of them are raising their kids. My grandkids do not scare me for our future. And that's a good thing. So have your coffee, have a good drink, have a break, and then get back to work.